Hey everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of the Great Anime Collection Reorganization vlog series that we're doing on this channel. Picking up from last time where we left off on the Super Milk-chan show, I have another little section filled up with some random titles. First up, I have what is evidently the Canadian DVD edition of Princess Mononoke, and I'm not sure how I got the Canadian release other than that we got it from a convention and just kind of picked it up randomly a long time ago, so I wasn't really aware. The only reason I could tell is obviously the home rating, and as well as the information on the back being in English as well as French. But a very classic Studio Ghibli movie, and very fun fact, apparently this was Will's first anime, which is a really bold choice to go with, considering this movie isn't very kid-friendly for anyone that has seen it. But basically, I guess he stumbled across it one night when he was flipping through channels, and that was before he really knew what anime was, and he didn't really get into anime until he met me and could fully understand what it was, so I've kind of drug him down that dark abyss, unfortunately. And I do want to pick up a Blu-ray copy of this movie at some point, because I'm pretty sure it is released in Blu-ray, and I do want to replace it if I can, just because I generally don't believe in automatically upgrading collections to Blu-ray and that sort of thing, so I don't want to get into that cycle of constantly rebuying series, but for certain older things and movies, I think it's very much worth the upgrade. So next to that, I have my only Animego release, and I have the DVD box set remastered edition of Bubblegum Crisis. And I picked up this series because I've just heard a lot of good things about it. It's kind of one of those essential must-watch 80s OVA animes, and it looks really cool because it's a cyberpunk series. You got an all-female cast, there's really cool music in the series, and they got their little cyber suits, and I really did want to like it. However, unfortunately, I can honestly only say that I half-watched the series. And what I mean by that is, even though I got this set brand new, totally shrink-wrapped and everything, and there were no physical defects whatsoever on the backs of the discs, the manufacturing of the set was so poor that it was basically rendered unwatchable for a lot of the time. There were some scenes that were just totally messed up, and you had to skip past them in order to continue watching the episode. And this was the case, and trying it across different, players and computers and that sort of thing, all had the same result, which is really unfortunate. And the set came with a ton of extra features, and those all worked perfectly fine, funny enough. And the other thing is, the last episode of the series was not watchable at all whatsoever, so I was never even able to finish it. So it was just really unfortunate because I did want to give it a chance. However, I know that Animego did a Kickstarter release for the Blu-ray a while back, and if I'm not mistaken, you can still get the Blu-ray on their website. But I am a little hesitant to pick it up. I do really want to get it because I want to be able to give the series a chance and have it in my collection because I did like what I saw. However, if anybody has this series on Blu-ray and can attest to the decent quality of it, and if it was manufactured okay, please leave a comment down below and let me know, and that'll be one that I actually consider upgrading into Blu-ray at some point. Next to that, I have my only Anime Souls release, and unfortunately it's only half of the series, and that is Magical Angel Creamy Mommy, which is a magical girl series from the 80s. And it is about this little girl named Yu. Here she is on the back of the box, and she has a run-in with these aliens, and in order to thank her, they give her this little magical compact, and she can use it to turn into the idol Creamy Mommy that you see right here. Very adorable and charming series, a lot of fun, but yeah, unfortunately I have the first half of the collection, and that is because I, for one, didn't really know about Anime Souls in the beginning, so I couldn't pledge to get the sets in time. And two, they were sold through Right Stuff, and while this Creamy Mommy DVDs were part of the Right Stuff holiday sale back in, last holiday sale, to save some money, I only picked up the first two and decided I'd come back later for the last two, and of course in that time that I got these and came back, the other two were off the site and totally out of print, so I'm really upset about that I can't even own this completely, but I was able to watch the rest of the series subbed online, but I really wanted to have this in my collection, so I am quite sad about this. Next to that, I have the rest of these are Anime Works titles, and I have Gaku in Heaven, which is actually a boys' love series, and funny enough, we kind of got this on a whim. Will just picked it up for me at an auction, and we've never actually seen a straight up boys' love title before. so we thought it would be interesting to give it a try. And I really did want to like it, however, the series just felt really underwhelming for me, just very typical, and it just wasn't very interesting for me. The animation was not bad, and I really did enjoy the little shorts that were at the end of the episodes with their hamsters. But yeah, just a very kind of felt like a generic series. I don't know. But also that cat on the spine is quite possibly the most ugly cat in anime history. I don't know. To that, I have the Giant Robo Collection, another OVA series, on DVD, as well as the Ginrai special. I want to say that this came from, or was made in the late 80s or early 90s, and it took years to make, and they really took their time on it. And it's a really cool old school mech series, very subtle mech series as well. Very cool cast of characters, and just beautifully done overall. Highly recommend for any fans of old school anime or mech series in general. Next to that, I have Dark Cat, which is a random OVA that we picked up on the cheap, and honestly speaking, it is quite possibly, and I know this is very early on in this video to be saying this, or the collection to be saying this, but quite possibly the worst anime title in our collection. It was just awful. The plot was just crap. Just the voice acting was very weird and stiff, and just a lot of things off about it. There were not sound effects and noises where there should be. It was just a very weird, bad OVA. Something to show your friends if you want to make them suffer, I guess. Just really bad. But next to that we have Jubei the Ninja Girl and Secret of the Lovely Eye Patch, which is a really cool short series from the early 2000s. Very kind of cheesy, fun watch. Basically about this swordsman, or the infamous Japanese swordsman Jubei Yagyu, and his powers are passed down through this heart-shaped eye patch which Jubei-chan is supposed to inherit, and basically every episode consists of her kind of refusing to accept the eye patch and constantly trying to get rid of it, and eventually the episode will end in her accepting it and, you know, wearing it, and transforms into this really cool kick-ass character that you see in the top part right there, and she kicks some ass and wins the battles, and it's a lot of fun. I haven't seen the sequel to the series yet. I was very glad to be able to pick that up since that is released by Genion and has long been out of print, but definitely need to watch that at some point. Next to that is Saber Marionette R, another kind of short OVA series. I got it because I have the Saber Marionette J series, and while it is obviously kind of a similar concept with the girl marionette characters, it was just a lot more grittier and quite different, as you can tell from the back. The animation style was still cute in some parts, but just a lot darker of an anime compared to Saber Marionette J, which was kind of a cute, light comedy in some ways. But yeah, that about covers it for this little section. Next video we will cover the Aniplex titles, so look forward to that. Until next time, thanks for watching.